a good time. Put a smile on your face, yeah. Kimmy Kim and Elation Radio. Even brighten your day and help you through the night. Bring you good music. Kimmy Kim and Elation Radio. And here's your host, Kimmy Kim.
Greetings, everyone. Charles McCutcheon here. I'm the favorite entrepreneur. I'd like to welcome you today. This is what I want to do for you. I want to make sure that you're sitting down, and I want you to put your seatbelt on because I'm about to take y'all on a ride. So I came up with this just the other day, really, because I was sitting here. Everybody keeps asking me questions because I'm doing some funding right now. So I said, well, I'm going to show you different places I'm finding money. Now, doesn't matter your industry, it's just money. I search for funding like nobody's business only because I need it just like everybody else need it. And everything I'm giving you right now, I've been through some of it. I'm going through a lot of it right now as I do literally a raise, that's what we call it in the real estate world, a $200 million raise for the project that I'm doing in Virginia Beach, Virginia. Those who don't know me, my name is Charles McCutcheon, best-selling author, real estate investor. I have my nonprofit helping the homeless veterans. I've been speaking across the country. I'm into the cannabis world. I do business credit. I prior military, a veteran. And I'm into understanding more about opportunity zones. That is so crazy. So what I'm going to give y'all today, welcome to Charles's Corner. And I'm not a lawyer, family. I'm not going to make any income claims today, but I'm going to tell y'all some stuff. And this is not legal advice. I think you need to go to talk to either your CPA, your legal professional, whoever it is you need to speak with. But I'm going to give you some details on what you can start doing as far as research. I say anybody you're listening to, at least go back and do your due diligence on what they give you and research it for yourself. Because I'm going to give y'all some heat. This is where the money resides. And I'm going to tell you why I came up with this. And it's going to help some folks out so y'all don't do what I did. Back, I don't even remember what year it was. It was many years ago. I was doing a real estate transaction down in the Denton, Texas area, and that is, if you know where Dallas is, it's about 45 minutes northwest from Dallas. So I'm down there. I was going back and forth, and people thought I lived in Dallas. I was going back and forth so much. And as I'm there, I'm meeting all these people, and I had this deal on the table. We were building out a private community. Now, that thing was going to be very nice. Houses from It was upwards of 350, 400,000 houses. The first houses was going to be built. It was going to be a gated community with the park and everything. It was nice. So as I'm going through this, got this guy up here I knew of. He's a realtor up here in Virginia. So told him about the deal down there, $8 million deal. As I'm still going out looking for this private money, I found some guys that had the funding. And then the guy that I told up here, about the funding, he actually found some folks as well. So unbeknownst to me, his team of people, I think he had about 5 people that were an entity coming together to buy into the development. Unbeknownst to me, they called down there to the guys who own the land, and they were asking questions. No big deal. And so the guys who own the land down there, they called me, and they said, hey, Charles, hey, we just had this lady named Janine. She called up here. She called us and was asking about the development and all that kind of stuff. Do you know of her? And I said, well, yeah, I gave the number out to a few folks, so y'all going to get some phone calls. I didn't really know what her name was. I had assumed it was the guy up here in Virginia. And so I actually hit him up, and I said, hey, I ain't going to say his name. I really don't care. But I hit him up, and I said, hey, I had a lady named Janine call down there, and she was asking about the development. Do you know her? And he said, yeah, I know her. I said, okay, great. I said, well, they were asking some weird questions and stuff. So what I'd like to do is I'd like to get on the phone and have a conversation with them. And then he was like, well, I can't give you their phone number. I was like, well, I didn't ask for their phone number. I mean, we can do a three-way call, and then I can tell them, because I know about the deal, so I can tell them, you know, what needs to happen with the deal so they can actually get a piece of it. And I got to put this out there. I wasn't going to do it, but I'm going to do it anyway. So the guy that I'm speaking about, brother, and the people that he had, you know, they were of color. And so I was like, well, you know, I can get y'all the deal, blah, blah, blah. One thing led to another. I asked the question to get on the three-way call with him. He was like, well, he can't do that either. So I was like, something don't sit well with me. It didn't sit well with me. So I said, why would you say that? I said, what's going on? And he got quiet. And then I said to him, and his name is, hold on, I forgot his name. If I remember his name, I'm going to say it. So I said, man, are you trying to cut me out on a deal? And then he got quiet. And then this is what he told me. He said, it is what it is. Ooh. I said, all right. So we have a live one here. But let me tell you, I've been in this industry a long time. A long time. I wrote me some manuals. I've been in here so long. Really, I have. And so I said, say less. And I hung up the phone. That's all I said. And what he was trying to do is backdoor me. And I was like, I'm trying to feed you on a deal, and you're going to try to backdoor me. And I was like, I don't believe he did that. But, you know, it happened. But what, unbeknownst to him, let's keep the party going. He didn't know that I'm what you call a principal in the deal. And what that means, ladies and gentlemen, is the deal doesn't move without me because I'm documented. I'm John Hancock. I signed my signature to be up on this one so it don't move without me, but he didn't know that. So they didn't get the deal, and I cut him off because he's a shady character. He's very shady. His name is Mark. I think his name is Mark. I don't want to throw out bad names out there. I'm going to just go with Mark. Sounds good to me. So that's a funding story. One problem I had is I had single point failure. I'm going to get this deal, and I only had one entity, one group of people that was going to buy in for $8 million. And when they were buying in for $8 million, what was going to happen is I was going to receive a check for, drum roll, please, $750,000. Let me tell y'all that, like I know. I was dancing. I was so hyped. I was like, oh my goodness, I'm about to do this. I'm about to do that. I'm about to do this. My fault was single point failure, just having one person. They walked away at the last minute, and my world came crumbling down. You don't understand how that felt. I was just like, this can't happen. Like, and I was trying everything in my power to figure it out. Like, okay, what do I need to do? They said, Charles, kind of just let it go. And I said, what? I'm not letting this go. I want to get this thing done. So it's almost like starting over to go get people to fund the deal, and I had to walk away from that deal. But there was a silver lining to that. It allowed me to understand where I went wrong and what I need to do, you know, on my journey. So I got taught a few lessons on this journey. I don't lose. I get lessons. Stop playing. So I got taught a few lessons. And as I'm working this $200 million development right now, ask me how many people I have to fund this one. Yeah. I probably have 15 to 20 separate entities all willing to bring $200 million because I am not playing. This is not what I do. I'm not joking with this thing. There will be no single point failure. That's not how I roll. There won't be single point failure. So I was 2 days ago. So I got all these people waiting to fund it, right? So 2 days ago, I'm on the phone. I got this guy. They have a hedge fund, and all they do, they have a lot of money. Put it that way. They fund up to like $50 million. That's what they do. So the guy I'm on the phone with, he's a billionaire, and the guy is so demeaning and so woo. I'm from a small city called Detroit, and he almost got it. He almost got the D to come out, but I wouldn't allow him to because I know what I have my hands on. He was all like, well, I can't even find it on the map. Does this thing even exist? Like he said, so you're doing these big deals. Like, why don't you already have the funding? So what if your guys on the deal is done? This sounds kind of skeptical. He went all down the road, and then he said, no, it's nothing against you. I said, oh, I don't take offense to this. I said, I know what I have my hands on. I'm already approved by the city. I'm going to go meet the mayor for this. We have attorneys that are 125 years in the industry, and I have other funders. Because let me tell you, what I do know to be a true statement is there's no shortage of money. I came off the top rope on this dude. I don't have time for games. When you know your stuff, and that's why I study so much, because in that instance, when him and his partner on the phone, because I'm in an opportunity zone, and all opportunity zones are economically disadvantaged areas, for lack of a better word, the ghettos, the areas that's run down that we want to build back up. So I'm in one of those areas. I'm about to build it back up, and his partner was trying to tell me about opportunity zones, and I had to educate him and his partner on opportunity zones because this is what I do. So that's why I stay sharp on my craft, because I don't care how much money you have. You're not coming into my house and try to talk trash about me and then try to sweep it under the rug. So after I gave them what I call the industry, I don't give people the business no more. I give them the industry. I gave them the industry, and at the end of the conversation, then they were like, oh, my goodness. Oh, you're about to – yes, that's what I'm about to do. And I don't need his money. I can promise you that. So I entertained him. It is what it is. But the one thing I will not do is beg anybody for any money or cower to any man about money, because there's no shortage of it. There's $6 trillion right now looking for a home, and he's loaning out $50 million. He was shook when I was talking about this $1 billion deal that I was working on. He didn't understand how I could do it. And he, to be politically correct, he didn't think a guy like me could do that. Yeah, so we're going to talk about this money, family. I'm going to tell you how I go get it. I'm going to tell you different places I go get it. I'm going to give y'all some sites, some things, some names, some different information so you can go get it as well. I'm going to talk about the banks, the private money, the grants, crowdfunding, hedge funds, pension funds, loans, business credit. Even in the hemp and cannabis industry, there's money. And we just don't know that it's out there. Most of us just go to banks. That's what we do. We tie everything we do to go to banks, and then they give us crumbs, family. They give us crumbs. That's basically what we get. We get some crumbs on the table. They want your past banking statements, your firstborn. They want you to have a 850 credit score. They want all this stuff, y'all. That's what they do at the bank. I try to go more to lenders and private money. That's just me. So private money, so I'm telling y'all this from a position of being in real estate. And just because I'm in real estate, I have other businesses that need funding, just like y'all businesses need funding. So I go to private money. And private money, people or smaller organizations may have that funding that they want to put out, right? And with that, they may charge you, say, I just had a guy tonight. He said, Charles, I'll give you 70% loan to cost, meaning the cost of the development. So if the development is $100,000, he's going to come up with $70,000. I come up with 30. That's kind of like the premise behind it. So if the development is $100 million, they come up with 70% of that $100 million, and I come up with the other 30. So, and then I have some say, well, Charles, we'll come up with 75%. So what I do in my book of business is I shop around. Why not? It's like I'm going to Macy's and I'm going to another store. I'm going to find the best deal for the money. That's what I do. So with these different private money or hedge funds or pension funds, they ask me questions like, where's the project? How solid is it? About my team? What have you done lately? Do you have equity in the deal? The relationships that you may have with the city. So they start asking a lot of different questions. And then there's crowdfunding. I haven't seen a lot of successful crowdfunding. I studied crowdfunding, and crowdfunding is like a job. I mean, you really got to put on the hits. You better have a fantabulous story. And I think I can crowdfund this development. I'm just waiting till I get closer to the money because I'm going out the window with the crowdfunding thing. I'm going to try it. I definitely want to try it, but I'm going to get with some experts because I'm not finna do all this, y'all. That's not what I do. So there's a lot of different platforms out there. Some of them, when I was doing my studying on it, it's like if you say you want to crowdfund $80,000, if you don't get to a certain percentage, like 70 or 80%, they'll refund everybody's money back and you won't get none of that money. I was like, good crazy. So I'll say if you're going to do crowdfunding, make sure you know what you're looking for. Now, there's a lot of people out there. They're doing a lot of illegal stuff, and this is coming from the Securities Exchange Commission, www.sec.gov. Make sure you go there if you're doing some type of deals where you want to, even in business, hey, y'all, invest in me. Everybody send me the money. That's like, I'm not going to say it's illegal. I want you to look for yourself. So there's different types of funding that you can receive, and there's different regulations. And like I said, go to the sec.gov and they can tell you all this stuff I'm about to tell you right now. You just search it online, it'll pop up. There's a regulation 504, and that's when you trying to go after money, like if you want to do whatever you want to do, business or what have you, you can't go more than $5 million raised in that particular year. And it's only for accredited investors. And you can advertise it if your state allows it. And what an accredited investor is someone who has income that's greater than $200,000 in each of the past 2 years. Or if you have a spouse, you can have greater than $300,000 in each of the past. Another caveat is if you have a net worth that exceeds $1 million. Now, you have to exceed $1 million by the time you do the purchase or whatever it is you're going to do. So if you don't have the money right now, if you have it before it starts, then you're good. But this is what you need to do. This is what I would do. Get with an SEC attorney. Don't try to do all this stuff by yourself. You got to tell them what's going on, and they're going to tell you, okay, you can do this or you can't do that. That's the best thing to do. It's nothing that you're going to do by yourself. That's not the thing to do. You're not going to do all this by yourself. There's another platform out there to use called a Reg D 506B as in boy. That's when you can raise an unlimited amount of money. I see a lot of hedge funds using this one. If there's no limit on accredited investors, and there's like you can have about 35 non-accredited investors, and we call those, if they're not accredited, they don't have $1 million or $200,000 for the last 2 years or whatever. We call them. They may be sophisticated investors, and you can't advertise. You can't be like posting on social media, anything like that. And investors, what we call self-certify. That means you're going to tell people, yep, I'm a sophisticated investor. That's what it comes down to. But your attorney that you're working with, they're going to ask you some specific questions that you got to be able to answer. They're going to ask you questions about that relationship that you have with that person that you're getting money from. And I hope that you had a relationship prior to just putting it out there asking them for money. So talk to your attorney on that. There's another one. I see hedge funds using this one, Reg D, Regulation Delta, 506 Charlie, 506C. We call it Reg D, 506C. Advertising, you can advertise all over the place. Only accredited investors can be used for that type of investment. That's why I see a lot of hedge funds doing as well. Some people, I just spoke with a lady. Well, it was a guy that got in touch with me, and they're in the music industry. And some high-profile music industry folks ask some questions about something that they're working on. And then I ask them the question if they're working with international folks, because if you're not a U.S. citizen and you go into some type of crowdfunding platform, then your attorney, your SEC attorney, is going to make you fill out what they call a Regulation F. And that's why I say there's no sense in trying to remember all this stuff. It's always good to go to the experts and let them do what they do. That's what they do. So now this next one I'm going to bring up is one that I want to work on myself with my attorney, not me. It's called a Regulation A Tier 1, and then there's a Tier 2. Tier 1, you can crowdfund up to $20 million for a year, and then Tier 2, you can raise up to $50 million. So the reason I want to do that is because I can actually put that out to the masses, and people can put in $1,000, $2,000, $5,000. They don't have to put in $50,000. Okay. So with these hedge funds and pension funds, I already talked about that in a sense to where some of these hedge funds will say, we'll 100% finance you. I just had one tell me this. We'll finance you 100%. What I want to see is 25% in the bank. Have another hedge fund to say, you come up with 1.5% of the total that you're asking me for, and we'll fund the rest. So there's a lot of different things out there, And so the other piece of the puzzle is grants. Now with grants, I would tell everybody, I want you to go to the place it's on HUD, and it's a Notice of Available Grants or Available Funds. It's NOAF or something like that, NOFO. Notice of Available Funds, and it's grants that come out, and it's a yearly thing that's done. So you can go check for those type of grants. I'm gonna give y'all all these different type of grants that I'm looking at right now. Another one is that they have some of the same names, and so that throws people. They say, hold on, I already did that one. No, you didn't do that one because it has the same name. It's like somebody can't even think up a different name. Let me explain to y'all what I mean. So there is one grant out there called the Community Development Block Grant. Then there's the Department of Housing and Community Development Grant. Then there's a City Community Grant Program. It's like, why they keep having community? It's like, I don't know, whatever. There's solar grants out there. There's technology grants out there. There's educational grants out there. And I'm going for all of it because we have that set up in the Virginia Beach market. Then there's an Emergency Solutions Grant where you get that type of grant and you really want to provide stability for someone. It's built around permanent housing for someone. So there's another grant called the Small Business Technology Transfer type of grant. It's grant money. It's a program, and it requires small business owners to collaborate with nonprofit research institutions. That's basically what it boils down to. Then there's another one called the SBIR. That one I just talked to y'all about, Small Business Technology Transfer, STTR, Sierra Tango Tango Romeo. There's another one called SBIR, Sierra Bravo India Romeo. That's like an innovation type of research type grant. Small Business Innovation Research, SBIR, and it allows you to partner and collaborate with the government program. And that's coordinated by the SBA, Small Business Association, and it's used to conduct research and development. And funding can come in the form of like contracts or grants, but since you have something like a innovation research, they're looking for innovators to where you can provide an idea and they'll pay you $50,000. For your idea. $50K, family. SBIR, look it up. Go online, look it up now, Cletus, look it up. Then your nonprofit. So a lot of nonprofit. I'm literally was about to go out to this lady. After this call, I need to reach out to her. And I got to reach this other guy who was doing grants for me as well. He was under the weather, so I got to reach out and see what he's doing. But I'm going to ask them, can they get some grants for me for the Veteran Project? Very dedicated people I love it that they love their job, so I don't have to do the grants myself because I don't like to do grants. That's not what I do. It's not my specialty. That's not my superpower, family. Then there's another grant. I bet it's going to have community in it. Yes, it does. CDFI, Charlie Delta Foxtrot India, Community Development Financial Institution. What that does is provide credit and financial services to the quote-unquote underserved population. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Stop playing. Then there's New Markets Tax Credits. And what they're looking to do right there is like stimulate the businesses and real estate investment in low-income areas. That's what they do. So I got this guy up in D.C., an attorney. He came down here, spoke to the Black Chamber of Commerce. As we're sitting there, the guy starts telling us about New Market Tax Credits and how he was able to go across the street from a university called Alderman University and build a Spring Hill Suites Marriott. Thing just blew me away. He used New Market Tax Credits to go across the street, literally walk across the street and build a Spring Hill Suites Marriott that's still standing today. They spent total $3 million. That's it. I said, stop it, sir. Please rewind that and tell me. You blew me away. My mouth was wide open. $3 million for a Spring Hill Suites Marriott across from the university. I was blown away. I didn't even know how to take that. So I'm definitely asking questions. I have to reach back out to him and see what I can do because we have a hotel. And anyway, that's another conversation. So there's a lot of different loans out there. And I work with like 4 different companies right now. I help people get funding from if you're doing mixed-use development, if you're doing renewable energy, you're doing hospitality, you're doing land loans, bridge loans, equipment loans, medical, inventory lending. I work with all those folks, and I help people to get their PPP loans as well. We just help some folks get somebody got $20,000, somebody got $19,997 or something like that. But the information is out there. Anybody who wants to get it, you're still going to have to do your research just like I am. There's nobody getting around this research. It's out there for the taking, and we have to be good stewards, family, to go get it. We have to understand that it's out there for us to go get it. A lot of people just want it just given, and I just don't believe it's going to be given to us like it should be. People are going to come after you, family, no matter what you try to do. If you try to do something great, they're coming. All I'm saying is soldier up and be ready. I just stay ready. That's why I stay studying. If you came into where I work at, I'm going to get my library set up. I got books on books on books on books, only because I'm getting that information, but then I have to go do more research and find the people who are the experts in that area. Now, this is one thing that I'm working on right now, and this right here, I say it's going to be big in the next 3 to 5 years, just not right now. It's not that sexy right now. But in 3 to 5 years, oh, my goodness. And this is being recorded. I'm so glad. I'm so glad it's being recorded because they're going to look back on it and be like, oh, Charles said it too 3 years ago. I'm going to be like, yeah, I said it. But the only difference between what I'm telling you is what I'm doing with it. There's such a thing called opportunity zones. Opportunity zones. Opportunity zones is where the money resides. Opportunity zones is where we as a people live right now. Opportunity zones, there's a lot of money being thrown in that direction. There's a lot of grant money from everything I just talked to y'all about being thrown in that direction. Opportunity zones are here right now, and we can capitalize on it to the fact to where if you're doing hemp, because we're going to be building using hemp, I'm going to go out and get some grants using hemp to actually help to build this doggone structures, all this stuff that we're building. So these opportunity zones have a thing called an opportunity zone fund. Those opportunity zone funds, this is what I had to educate the billionaire on. He didn't think I knew. But anyway, he didn't know. Allow me to reintroduce myself. You better understand who I am, sir. So these opportunity zone funds, there's like $6 trillion out there from the different offices and 1031 exchanges and all this money from hedge funds and pension funds and private money that goes into these funds, and these funds go into these opportunity zones to build all these structures. So what I'm doing right now, I'm going to go down the road to become an opportunity zone advisor so I can be the resident expert and go around the country and tell people how we can win, how we can bring this money to the tune of trillions to these doggone opportunity zones and build these areas up and do affordable housing and put our people back in the places so they're not being displaced. And they use that politically correct terminology, gentrification. We can stop that, but we got to do our part. All right, I do want to thank Kimmy for giving me this platform to educate the masses. I'm throwing nothing but hot ones, y'all. I'm really throwing hot ones at people, and I want y'all to take the actual information and do something with it. Do something with it, because I'm coming like a freight train in 2021, and the brakes are off. I'm telling you, I'm about to take the brakes off of this freight train. I had the brakes on for a little while, family. I'm telling y'all right now, before it goes down, Charles McCutcheon said he's taking the brakes off, and there's nothing that can stop me. No, I'm hungry. I'm going to show y'all better than I can tell y'all, though. Everything I tell y'all is coming to fruition. It's coming to fruition. Told y'all about cannabis over 3 years ago. Now cannabis is starting to boom. It ain't really took off yet. Y'all better pay attention. I told y'all about business credit over 7 years ago. I keep telling people about all this stuff. Now I'm telling y'all, I told y'all about nonprofits. I told y'all about government contracts. Now I'm telling y'all about opportunity zones. Everything I bring up pops. Told y'all about real estate. Everything I bring up is that thing. I told y'all about credit. Everything I bring up is coming. I'm telling y'all about private money, grants. I'm telling y'all right now, we have to get into these different sectors and understand this stuff. It ain't going to come easy. But if you want it easy, good luck with that. There's no easy buttons out there. It's just not. So anybody who needs to reach me, if you need funding, hit me up. I got you. I got funding I got some of the smaller funding. It could be $50,000, $10,000. It could be $100,000. I got some hedge funds from $1 million to $5 million to $10 million up to $750 million. I got different hedge funds out there with money. One of the ones I'm talking to right now, based out of Canada, they have $20 billion with the B. Got on with another guy, and I don't know how much money they have, but he had the Middle Eastern guy from out of Florida. They said they have $400 billion. I don't know. I don't know. That's what they told me. So here I am, but I have the resources to different people that I work with. So that's what I do. I show people different ways and connect people and see about getting some deals funded. So I'm going to pray us out. Dear God, we give thanks for this time. We're in a world where we have a lot of worry, not a lot of peace. Please forgive us for forgetting that your love never changes, it never fades, and that you will never abandon us, because you didn't bring us this far to only bring us this far. Please give us the strength and the mental fortitude that we need to move forward and know that everything will be okay in your time. Continue to bless our families during these times that we're going through. Please keep us safe, keep us healthy. And we may not always see where you're going, but it's going to be right on time when they get there. I pray in your name. I pray. Amen, amen, and amen. And y'all take it easy. Charles McCutcheon, I'm your favorite entrepreneur.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah. I know you see me smiling, it's official now. And everybody wanna know what's going down. It's feeling crazy and I'm laughing in my ears now. It's all becoming funny, really see how it's bound. You see me smiling, it's official now. And everybody wanna broke every chain. I know you see me smiling, it's official now. And everybody wanna know what's going down. They see me posing and I'm laughing at my useless now. It's all because I'm feeling free, see I was bound. You see me smiling, it's official now. And everybody wanna know what's going down. They see me posing and I'm laughing at my useless now. It's all because I'm feeling free, see I was bound. Once I accepted Christ, I got a clean slate. No longer bound by my mistakes, I got a clean break. I keep a smile, no longer bound, don't see that mean face. Can't keep me down, see I've been found and I done seen grace. I'm walking tall and feeling like $1 million. Cause I got Jesus with me, see it when it's right. You can even hear it when I speak about him. Once you get the Holy Spirit, it's gonna have you shout. Hallelujah, thank you Jesus. I would never ever know the reason that you love me and you keep me. Always there for me when I'm reaching. The word to teach me how to seek me when I'm facing so